Oh, should I start? We're Sarah and EL, PhD students in Brown University's Egyptology and Assyriology department.
While there is certainly a lot of interesting academic work happening in Near Eastern studies, the Academy is not the only place to get caught up on the coolest news items. One resource that many Assyriologists subscribe to is the Agaday listserv, compiled by Jack Sasson, the Mary Jane Worthen Professor of Judaic and Biblical Studies at Vanderbilt University. For more than 2 decades, Sasson has been sending daily emails highlighting books, news, and opportunities within the field, which we want to share with you. In addition to the Agaday list, we have scoured the internet for the most exciting news stories and public scholarship related to the ancient Near East.
Throughout the month, Sarah and I will curate a selection of items for interested non-specialists. Then we'll share them with you in videos like this so that you can be part of the conversation.
If this nightmarish pandemic situation ever decides to give us all even a little bit of a break, you might be interested in one of your first ventures out into the world, being to the Great North Museum. The British Museum's touring exhibition, Ancient Iraq, New Discoveries, highlights the important work of preserving the heritage of Iraq and supporting excavations in the area. Check out this exhibit before it socially distances itself from your area. Just in case you were stuck inside until the end of time, there is more than one way to visit a museum. Over at the Unionville Times, Denny Dyroff has assembled a list of virtual museum tours that you can take from the safety of your own home. Lots of museums have begun making their collections virtually available in these uncertain times, so make sure you check out as many as you can. We know at least one of our regular viewers is interested in burial customs in Anatolia, so this one is for her. This month saw the publication of The Burial Customs in Anatolia During the Hellenistic and Roman Periods, edited by Elif Ozer, brings to us the proceedings of an international symposium on burial customs in Anatolia. Featuring work in both Turkish and English, this book is a great way to explore life, death, and the space in between. References to the ancient Near East aren't just for nerds. The new book, Receptions of the Ancient Near East in Popular Culture and Beyond, shows that they can be for nerds who also get out sometimes. In this volume, edited by Lorenzo Verderame and Agnes Garcia Ventura, scholars from around the world provide windows into understanding the ancient origins of storylines in popular culture from Star Trek to Czech comic books. Looking to try new forms of education while you're stuck inside? Try exploring how the Babylonians approached education. From the Workshop of the Mesopotamian Scribe by Jacob Klein and Yitzhak Safadi presents first editions of a variety of cuneiform tablets from the Old Babylonian period, making available for the first time text representing various levels of scribal education in Mesopotamia. You may take your education outline, but at least you don't have to do it in Sumerian. Interested in some of the books we've highlighted, but missing access to your local library? Look no farther than the Facebook A&E Researcher Quarantine Library. Though Facebook can be a dumpster fire of a website, some scholars of the ancient Near East have done their part to make it a little less awful and establish this resource for those looking for some help in tracking down the books they need for work and for play. You can head over there to make a request or help fulfill someone else's. If you're watching this, you've probably heard of Egyptology before, but what exactly is Egyptology? John Baines, Professor Emeritus at the University of Oxford, shares his thoughts on the breadth and depth of the field in a short blog post for the British Academy. You might be surprised at just how much Egyptologists study. Though you may not be going around and circulating outside, unfortunately many antiquities still are as part of illicit buying and selling. The British Museum's Circulating Artifacts Project combines a restricted object database with online public reporting to assess the possibility that some objects may have been illegally excavated or supplied. So far, the project has identified over 4,700 objects of questionable provenance, now under investigation by law enforcement agencies. Here you can read more about the project and the great work its staff is doing. As more things move to the virtual world, it's worth diving deeper into the benefits and pitfalls of these digital tools. I and my co-author, Eddie Williams, invite you to consider digital information storage through the lens of Mesopotamian scribal practices in our piece on the digital dark age and ancient technologies of writing over on the Journal of the History of Ideas blog.
Adrienne Mayer, author of Gods and Robots, talks about searching for automata in the ancient world, in the myths and stories and actual craft of ancient Greece. As with many things, seeking out firsts can be problematic, but so can writing off the work of entire cultures because they predate established norms. Mayer invites us to reconsider common conceptions of robots and our preconceptions of what it takes to imagine and build these machines over on ASOR's The Ancient Near East today. You may have heard that recently the Museum of the Bible admitted that all of its Dead Sea Scroll fragments were fakes. Turns out that they're not the only museum to be fooled by fake artifacts. Erin L. Thompson, a professor of art crime, gives a scoop on fakes, frauds, and forgeries in her piece for Hyperallergic. In the before times, back when we shared spaces with each other, the Babylonian collection at Yale University hosted a symposium on women at the dawn of history. This symposium highlighted the unique lives of Mesopotamian women, reconstructed from letters, legal documents, and daily accounts. Read a write-up of this important event and interesting material in the Yale Daily News if you want to hear what mostly white men had to say about it. I've been wanting to feature the hazing blog on here for a while, and the recent post collecting podcasts on the Middle East, North Africa, and Islamic studies has provided this opportunity. While the blog primarily provides reviews and writing about archives related to these studies, their podcast write-up provides a great place to jump into their content, including an entire section focused on history podcasts that you all might find right up your alley. My all-time favorite digital magazine, Lady Science, featured an essay by zooarchaeologist Alex Fitzpatrick on the problems of Indiana Jones, from his perpetuation of colonialist and orientalist thought to his sexism and ableism. Her essay focuses on what it's like to participate in an archaeological dig and how the archaeological field can be more inclusive. If you've ever wanted an inside look into the process behind the recovery of the material components of Assyriology, this piece is fantastic. If you've been inspired by Indiana Jones or Lady Science or otherwise to get your hands dirty, join the Archaeological Institute of America and Archaeology magazine on virtual interactive digs. You can watch videos, read reports, and really get to know archaeological sites from around the world, all from the comfort of your own confinement. You can also read about the discovery of a new archaeological site dedicated to the god 𝒀�Support over on Live Science. The site contained tons of material remnants, vessels, animal bones, and other evidence of ritual use, but none so interesting, to me at least, as a bronze duck figurine. This is the material culture content that I'm here for. If texts are more your thing, take a look at the 773 published cuneiform texts of the Murashu archives, available now on 𝒀₭Support. The site provides transliterations and some translations, as well as a variety of resources on artifacts, images, archaeological sites, and publications. 𝒀₭Support looks to be a great tool for those of you interested in the Achaemenid Persian Empire. Finally, I guess it wouldn't really be a rundown of March 2020 if we didn't feature some pieces explicitly addressing the pandemic. Young Che writes for Eidolon about why it's okay to stop viewing the global crisis through the lens of classical studies. In her words, classics cannot apply to everything, and in the grand scheme of things may apply to very little. This is, again, fine. Classical training, for all its merits, fails to prepare us for the reality of our reality, the profound absurdity of it, the stupefying cruelty in it, and that says more about reality than it does about classics.
That's it for March's selection. Thanks again to Dr. Sasson for his work on creating this list, for the community for creating awesome things, and for you and your interest. We'll see you next month with a selection of April's most interesting items.